In this video, we are going to learn about transformer log files. Let's get started. First of all, logs are useful for identifying common errors. They can help us troubleshoot complex problems related to the application and the job. In the context of transformers, there are two important log files. The first is the application log itself, and the second is the logs of the Spark jobs. As we know, the real computation with the transformer happens in the underlying Spark cluster, and so in many scenarios we want to check the Spark logs to fix the problem. Let's take a look at the transformer log files. We've signed into the DataOps platform and created a very simple transformer pipeline. It just processes dev raw data and throws it in the trash. Let's go ahead and run this job. In this scenario, we run the job on the EMR cluster and therefore submit a Spark job on that EMR cluster. To review the transformer log, we can go to the View Logs icon and review the transformer application logs. In general, the logs of this transformer engine contain startup messages, user logins, and basic pipeline information. In many scenarios, it may also contain some information about the local pipelines and the cluster pipelines running on the Hadoop yarn in client deployment mode. For this pipeline, the driver program is started on the local transformer machine. As a result, some pipeline processing messages are included in the transformer logs. By default, the transformer logs messages at the info severity level. However, if the transformer log does not provide enough information for troubleshooting, we can change this log level to a more advanced and a debug and trace level to obtain additional information. To change or modify the log level for the transformer engine, we need to go to the engines and find the transformer engine where we want to change the log level. We can click on the log config and change the logger level. Let's go ahead and make this to a debug level. We should remember that the changes we made at the log level take effect immediately. We do not need to restart the transformer. Let's run the job and see if it outputs the additional application log level. As we can see, now we have some additional debug messages in our application logs. This can help us troubleshoot to understand what is happening. Let's now talk about the second important log in the context of the transformer. This is the Spark driver log. The driver log provides us with information about how Spark executes the preview and validates the transformer pipelines. An SSH connection to the transformer instance is shown. Let's check if the transformer processes are running. After that, let's go to the data directory. This is the location of the lib transformer. Within that, there will be a directory called run info. As we can see, it has a different pipeline directory. So let's go to our pipeline directory, which is this one. Within that directory, what we see is the run. So every time we run that pipeline, there will be a new directory created within this. Let's go to this directory. Inside this directory, we can see the Spark driver logs. Note that this file is only present for the local pipelines or the cluster pipeline running on the Hadoop Yarn client in deployment mode, or for the EMR cluster pipeline. However, for all other cluster pipelines, the Spark driver program is not started within the cluster but remotely on one of the workers. Therefore, to view such Spark driver logs, we need to access the Spark Web UI or the cluster. Depending on the cluster type we use, we can access the Spark Web UI to view the Spark application logs. Using the Spark History Server UI, we can retrieve the Spark application logs to troubleshoot the issue. They provide a wide range of information that can help us understand the different behavior of our Spark job. As we can see, we can retrieve the logs from this Spark UI for both the driver and the executor. We can even download these logs. The messages in the logs of the Spark driver are locked at the error severity level. We can change this log level according to our requirements. So let's go ahead and make the changes in our pipeline. We can click on the Cluster tab, and there we have the option to set the protocol level. As you can see, there are different log levels depending on whether additional messages should be issued. We can set it to debug or trace. Once we make these changes, we will see that the Spark driver logs have additional messages and extended messages to help us debug. Make the changes and resubmit or check in the pipeline. And the next time you run that pipeline, the driver logs will still contain debug messages. In summary, we learned about transformer log files in this video.